Unearth the hidden prophecy, an epic revelation of the soul's journey awaits. I never expected a single dream to change everything. Yet, there I was, standing on the edge of a cliff, my heart pounding in my chest as the moonlight danced on the waves below. The wind whispered secrets, weaving through my hair, pulling me toward the unknown. The night was heavy with a scent I'd never smelled before, crisp like winter air mixed with something sweet and intoxicating. I felt an electric charge humming in the atmosphere. Doubt clouded my mind, a dark shadow over the bright light that flickered in my heart. What if I was wrong? What if all the signs I'd seen, the feathers on my path, the repeated numbers in my dreams, were mere coincidences? Yet, deep inside, a part of me screamed that I was on the brink of something monumental. I closed my eyes, drawing in the cool night air, searching for clarity. In the silence, I could hear my heart's frantic rhythm, matched only by the sound of crashing waves below. Goosebumps prickled my skin as a vision appeared, colors swirling like autumn leaves caught in a gust of wind. It was beautiful and terrifying all at once. What was it trying to tell me? Then, a sudden chill cut through my thoughts. I opened my eyes just in time to see a shadow darting across the cliff edge. My heart leapt into my throat, fears bubbling up like a pot on the brink of boiling over. Was it just my imagination, or was someone, or something, watching me? Questions sent a tremor through me. I needed answers, but the air seemed to thicken with uncertainty. Leaves rustled, adding to the cacophony of my racing heartbeat. Was it a sign? Should I stay and face whatever it was? Or should I turn back to comfort and safety? As I took a step closer to the cliff's edge, a burst of energy coursed through me. Suddenly, I heard a voice, low and soothing amidst the howling wind. It spoke of destiny, of paths intertwined and prophecies long hidden. My breath caught. Who was it? What was I supposed to do next? The moon cast an ethereal glow, illuminating a path that seemed to stretch endlessly before me, luring me into the depths of the night. I wanted to step forward, but the ground felt shaky beneath me. My heart raced with anticipation, with fear. Why did all this feel so important? Just as I was ready to take another step, the wind shifted. A gust pushed me back, and I heard the whispers again, calling me deeper into the darkness. I stood there, my chest tight, my breath shaky. What awaited me? Answers or more questions? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The wind continued to swirl around me, its whispers evolving into a chorus of soft pleas, as if the universe was urging me to leap into the unknown. I inhaled deeply, letting the air fill my lungs, and for a fleeting moment, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. Perhaps this was my moment, an awakening that transcended fear. But was I really prepared to dive into what lay ahead? As I steadied myself, my mind raced with memories of the signs that had led me here, the visions of swirling colors, the feathers gracing my path, the eerily timed synchronicities that now seemed like breadcrumbs scattered in a divine plan. I felt a pull from the depths of my very being, a calling to trust, to surrender to whatever lay beyond the veil of what I knew. Just then, a flicker of movement caught my eye. A luminous figure emerged from the shadows. My heart quickened. Was I dreaming? The being was ethereal, radiating warmth and wisdom, its essence pulsing with a gentle light that illuminated the darkness around me. To my surprise, fear melted away, replaced with a curious "Do not be afraid," it spoke, its voice resonating like the gentle chime of bells. This is the entryway to your truth. What truth? I whispered, taken aback by the unexpected encounter. The journey of the soul is paved with challenges and revelations, it replied, as the air shimmered with each word. You've waited a long time to begin this path, to understand the prophecy woven into the fabric of your being. You are merely at the threshold. Despite my trepidation, I felt an undeniable pull toward this entity. There was a familiarity, a sense of having encountered this essence before, perhaps in my dream. My mind raced with questions. What was this prophecy? Who was I in the grand tapestry of existence? First, you must let go, it instructed gently. Release the weight of expectation, the doubts that cloud your vision. Only then can you see the signs clearly. As it spoke, I felt the chill of the night seep into my bones, urging me to confront my fears. I took a deep breath, envisioning all that I clung to: my apprehensions, my doubts, my relentless need for clarity. In that moment, I released them into the night, watching as they transformed into shimmering stardust, dancing away from me. The being smiled, and I felt a surge of energy envelop me, a warm embrace that pulled me forward. Trust is your key, it guided. Step into the unknown, for it is here you will uncover hidden truths about your soul. With unwavering resolve, I shifted my weight to take that first step down the illuminated path lying before me. The cliff edge seemed to dissolve into a soft trail, lined with glistening stones that beckoned me onward. As each foot fell upon the ground, I felt a growing alignment with the vibrations of the earth beneath me, as if the universe was weaving my footsteps into a greater story. As I traversed forward, the air was saturated with otherworldly scents, floral and resonant, mingling with the crispness of the night. A tapestry of memories and emotions surfaced from the depths of my soul. Were they remnants from past lives or echoes of a forgotten past? The questions spiraled, filling my mind as the path twisted and turned in ways I had never anticipated. Suddenly, I approached a clearing bathed in moonlight. At the center, a pool of still water beckoned with an inviting glow, the surface reflecting the celestial bodies above like a window to the universe. My heart thudded in my chest, and I sensed that this pool held answers or perhaps more questions. What did it mean to gaze into my own reflection there? What would I discover beyond the illusions of my mind? As I knelt beside the water's edge, the gentle ripples began to distort the reflection, and I felt a wave of uncertainty wash over me once more. What was truly hidden beneath the surface? I was poised on the brink, not just of the water but of discovery itself. Would I emerge transformed, or would I find more mysteries entangled in the depths? The journey had only just begun, but even amid the uncertainty, there was an undeniable truth: I was meant to explore, to seek. And with that awareness came another question, pulsating in the stillness of the night. What if the greatest revelations were not answers, but the courage to continue asking? As I knelt at the edge of the pool, the soft whispers of the breeze wrapped around me like a tender embrace. I gazed into the water, its surface shimmering like a tapestry woven with stars. The moon hung in the sky, casting its silver glow upon the stillness, urging me to immerse myself in the depths of my own reflection. In that moment, I remembered the luminous figure's words: this was the entryway to my truth. But what truth awaited me here? Would the image in the water reveal the hidden prophecy, or would it simply reflect my fears and desires back at me? I leaned closer, and the surface began to ripple with soft movements, morphing the reflection into a kaleidoscope of images. Faces, some familiar, some strangers, flashed before me. Each visage seemed to hold a story, fragments of lives that were intertwined with my own. As I focused, I recognized the warmth of love, the pang of loss, and the exhilaration of moments lived fully. Each emotion rippled through me, urging me to delve even deeper. Suddenly, the water calmed, and a single image crystallized before my eyes: a young girl with wild curls, her eyes sparkling with mischief and wonder. She stood in a field of wildflowers, arms outstretched, laughing as though she could touch the sky. A wave of nostalgia swept over me, stirring memories of innocence and joy long buried beneath the weight of adult complexities. Seek her, a whisper echoed from the depths of the pool, pulling me into a gentle reverie. She knows the way. But how could I seek a part of myself I had nearly forgotten? A flicker of hesitation danced within me, yet the call felt undeniable. I needed to reclaim that joy, that free-spirited essence I once possessed. I felt the vibrations of the universe shifting around me, as if affirming the urgency of this quest. I closed my eyes and surrendered to the vision. Suddenly, I was transported to that sun-soaked field. The air was fragrant with blooming petals, and the warmth of the sun wrapped around me like a comforting quilt. I watched as the girl twirled with abandon, laughter spilling from her lips like sweet music. Join me. She beckoned, a handful of vibrant flowers clutched in her hand. With a rush of exhilaration, I stepped into the scene, feeling the soft earth beneath my feet, the colors of the flowers igniting my senses. I twirled beside her, the weight of my worries lifting higher with every spin. In her presence, I felt untethered, as if familiar burdens were melting away, leaving only joy in their place. "What's your secret?" I asked between bursts of laughter, breathless from the dance. "The secret is to believe," she shouted, her voice ringing with sincerity. "Believe in magic, in dreams, and in yourself. You are not lost, you are just beginning." But before I could respond, the world around me began to fade. The vibrant colors dimmed, and the girl's laughter echoed away, replaced by the stillness of the moonlit clearing and the reflective surface of the water. I stood again at the pool's edge, heart racing. Had I truly felt that connection? How could I reclaim the magic she embodied in my daily life? The question lingered in the stillness, amplifying a sense of yearning. I touched the water, causing another ripple to cascade across its surface. The essence of the girl still lingered within me like a gentle flame, but the shadows of doubt crept back, whispering their taunts. Would I be able to carry that sense of wonder forth on my journey? Just then, a soft rustle in the nearby brush caught my attention. A creature emerged, gliding effortlessly in L, its wise gaze piercing the veil of night. It landed gracefully on a low branch above me, its feathers gleaming like moonlight, a symbol of intuition and deeper understanding. "Speak, traveler," the owl appeared to say with its knowing eyes. "What do you seek beneath the surface of your soul?" I hesitated, caught between my desire for answers and the need to embrace the uncertainties that plagued me. The words of the girl echoed in my mind as I contemplated my response. Where was the balance between believing in magic and acknowledging reality? As I stood, knees trembling at the edge of the pool, I realized that perhaps the journey was never about finding definitive answers, but about unraveling the layers, daring to dance on the precipice of the unknown. What if the key to navigating this path lay not just in understanding the signs but embracing them with an open heart and endless curiosity? I looked up at the owl, drawing in a breath filled with purpose. "I seek the courage to remember," I finally whispered. "To remember the magic that dwells within me." The owl blinked, its gaze steady, as if acknowledging the power of my request. With a rustle of wings, it took flight, disappearing into the inky darkness. In the stillness that followed, I reflected on the intertwining aspects of my journey: lost innocence, vibrant joy, the whispers of the universe. Each moment, every encounter, was a thread woven into the fabric of my being. As I stood there, gazing into the depths of my reflection once more, I resolved to carry that spirit forward. What revelations lay ahead as I continued down this path? And how would I learn to balance the wisdom of my lessons with the wonder of my heart? The questions remained suspended in the air, a flickering light guiding me onward into the heart of the unknown. The air was rich with possibility as I found myself drawn deeper into the expansive embrace of the night. The pool shimmered like a portal, a reminder of the magic that had just brushed past me like the delicate wings of the owl. Each pulse of the water beckoned me to explore further, to heed the pull of the whispers that danced upon the breeze. With each cautious step forward, I felt the weight of doubt retreating, replaced by a curious excitement that embraced the unknown. The moonlight illuminated a path winding through the thicket, each step a silent pledge to listen for the signs meant to guide me. As I moved, the shadows danced around me, creating patterns that flickered and faded, reminders that clarity often hovered just beyond reach. Ahead, the path opened into a glade bathed in luminescence, the tall grass shimmering as if touched by celestial stardust. In the center stood a magnificent tree, gnarled and wise, its branches stretching skyward like arms reaching for divine truths. I could feel its presence, a guardian of secrets veiled in the tapestry of time. Instinctively, I approached, laying my hand against its rough bark, feeling the heartbeat of the earth thrumming in resonance with my own. Closing my eyes, I inhaled the scent of damp earth and rich foliage. It wove into my lungs like an ancient hymn singing of renewal. "Welcome, seeker," a voice whispered, emanating from the core of the tree. "What brings you to this sacred space?" I opened my eyes, startled yet calmed by the intimacy of its greeting. "I seek to remember the magic within me," I replied, my voice steadying as I spoke my intention aloud. "But I am unsure how to nurture it amidst life's challenges." The tree rustled, its leaves shimmering like whispers in the wind. To remember is to awaken to the many truths that reside in your heart, it replied. Every soul carries a prophecia journey, stories yet untold, and fragments of wisdom that surface when called upon. To nurture your magic, you must first gather the fragments of your truth. How do I gather them? I asked, the quest unfolding like petals in bloom within me. Listen with your heart, it urged. Seek the moments that ignite your spirit, and embrace the people who resonate with your essence. Your memories are echoes of your true self. Uncover them, let them guide you. As I pondered, the air around me began to shift, laden with the scent of blooming flowers and the laughter of children. Suddenly, a scene unfolded before me. Vivid and raw. We stood once more with the young girl in the wildflower field. Her laughter cascaded through the air, weaving through the fabric of my thoughts like threads pulling at the seams of my heart. "Douc?" she exclaimed, joy radiating from her. These are the memories that shape you. Each moment is a bloom, each joy a petal, each sorrow a thorn. Collect them all. With renewed purpose, I began gathering the flowers she offered, each one imbued with different hues reflecting the tapestry of my life. I could feel the jubilance of childhood, the weight of loss, and the power of dreams tucked within each blossom. The girl giggled, her eyes dancing with delight as I intertwined the flowers into a crown, feeling the essence of each moment settle upon my head like an embrace of light. Yet, as swift as the joy enveloped me, the world around me began to fade again, much like the dreams I often struggled to hold. I was back at the tree, the crown of flowers now resting delicately in my hands, vibrant against the deep brown of the trunk. "Go forth and share your blooms," the tree advised, its voice both soothing and urgent. Let them remind you of who you are, let them guide you to the prophecies waiting to be spoken. A new resolve ignited within me as I looked down at my ephemeral crown, realizing that the flowers represented not only my past but the beautiful potential of my future. What if each blossom carried wisdom, a lesson learned or a moment cherished? If I journeyed forward with this crown, could I share its magic with others, helping them to unveil their own hidden truths? The questions surged within me like a river, each one a droplet of possibility. What would it feel like to embrace that power fully, to weave my story into a collective tapestry of human experience? As I stepped away from the tree, the moon overhead seemed to nod in affirmation, and I felt the weight of destiny entwining with my heartbeats. The night stretched out before me like an uncharted sea, filled with uncertainty yet shimmering with promise. What truths lay hidden in the whispers of those I would meet on this journey? What prophecies awaited my discovery in the stories I had yet to uncover? With newfound clarity, I moved forward into the unknown, ready to embrace whatever awaited me on the horizon, my heart alight with the magic of possibility. The path wound before me like a river through the lush landscape, each step resonating with the energy of the earth beneath my feet. As I navigated the glade, the night air wrapped around me, heavy with the scent of pine and damp earth. The moon, a luminous guardian, cast gentle beams of silver light that danced through the trees, illuminating the way. Guided by instinct and the weight of my floral crown, I ventured deeper into the woods. Each flicker of movement in the shadows, each whisper of the wind felt like a call to pay attention, as if the very essence of the forest sought to impart its wisdom. I paused frequently, allowing my senses to heighten, to drink in the song of the night creatures, and to feel the pulse of life all around me. As I trekked further, the haunting melody of a flute resonated through the air, ethereal and inviting. It beckoned to me, wrapping around my thoughts like a silken thread. Drawn toward the sound, I followed, my heart racing with curiosity. The melody led me to a clearing, where a small gathering of people had formed a circle beneath the ancient branches of a towering oak. Their laughter bubbled like a gentle brook as they danced. I hesitated at the edge, feeling both exhilarated and out of place. But the music spoke to me, resonating with the fierce yearning in my heart. It was as if the notes carried fragments of my soul, urging me to join, to be part of this moment. With a courageous breath, I stepped forward. The dancers paused, their expressions shifting from surprise to warm welcome as I entered the light of the fire that crackled in the center, its flames licking at the night sky. A woman with long, flowing hair adorned with wildflowers approached me, her eyes glimmering like the stars above. "Welcome, traveler," she exclaimed, the flute now resting at her side. "We are the storytellers and dream weavers of this land, and we share tales to awaken the magic within." Will you share your story with us? My throat felt constricted, uncertainty flooding in. What was my story? Memories rushed to the forefront, lost moments, longings unfulfilled, and whispers of dreams that danced on the edge of my subconscious. But I remembered the crown of flowers, the joy nestled in each petal, and the tree's wisdom reverberated within me. Maybe it was time to speak. I am on a quest to remember the magic within me, I began, my voice steadying with each word. To gather the fragments of my truth and share them with others, igniting their magic in return. As the words poured out, the circle leaned in, captivated by the authenticity in my voice. I felt their energy merging with mine, an electricity sparking in the air between us. Remember that gathering your truth also involves the courage to be vulnerable, the woman said softly, her gaze piercing yet gentle. Tell us of your blooms, of the moments that shaped you. The pieces of your heart will guide you on. With newfound confidence, I began to recount my journey, the laughter of the young girl in the field, the weight of loss, the moments of triumph, and the dreams that flickered like stars in the night sky. As each story unfolded, my floral crown glimmered in the firelight, embodying the beauty of my journey. The dancers joined in, sharing their stories, weaving a tapestry of joy, sorrow, resilience, and love. The songs we created echoed through the night, rich with hope and understanding, a shared affirmation of our collective experience. In this sacred circle, I felt my heart expand, as if the blooms of my life were blossoming anew, each one resonating with a deeper truth shared in the presence of others. Then, as the final notes of our melodies hung suspended in the air, the woman turned to me. You carry within you not only your own truth, but the echoes of all those who have walked before you, ancestors, dreams, and prophecies unfulfilled. What will you do with these fragments? The question hovered, unbounded and profound, gnawing at the edges of my consciousness. How would I weave this newfound understanding into my journey? The stories shared tonight were pieces of a greater tapestry, but how could I navigate the threads of my lineage and the future still unfolding? As the circle began to dissolve, the fire flickered low, but my heart blazed with the connection forged tonight. I caught the eyes of the woman, her knowing smile a gentle nudge imbued with possibility. What if my magic lay not only in my personal stories but in the stories yet to be told, the prophecies waiting to blossom? Leaving the clearing, I glanced back at the now dwindling firelight. The night winds rustled through the leaves, carrying whispers of encouragement. The journey ahead was vast, and perhaps, like the owl who initially guided me, I would discover clarity in navigating the dark. With my crown resting lightly on my head, I stepped back onto the path, the mysteries of life swirling around me. What tales would I gather in the days to come? What truths lie waiting to unfurl, and how would they intertwine with the fabric of my existence? The questions lingered, vibrant and full of potential, urging me onward into the vast unknown. As I wandered deeper into the forest, the vibrant energy of the night raced alongside my thoughts, a current of inspiration urging me forward. The path wound like a thread through an intricate tapestry, each step echoing the stories I had just shared and the lingering question of how to honor the narratives of those who had come before me. The moon hung high, illuminating my way like a silent guide, its glow reflecting the anticipation bubbling within. Then, a soft rustle beckoned my attention to a nearby thicket. I softened my breath, tuning my ears to the sounds of the night. Out of the shadows emerged a figure cloaked in shades of deepest green. She was ageless, her skin adorned with the texture of bark and her hair cascading in wisps reminiscent of tendrils of ivy. I could feel a quiet strength radiating from her, resonating with the ancient heartbeat of the forest. "Oh, not be afraid, seeker," she spoke with a voice that was both a whisper and a song, entwined with the breeze. I am Alara, the guardian of hidden prophecies. You are woven into the fabric of this land, and your quest has drawn you near. I stepped forward, my heart racing at the realization that this encounter was no mere coincidence. I am searching for my truth, I shared, and the threads of my ancestors, those who have whispered their stories through the ages. The tales you carry are part of a greater symphony, Alara said, her eyes twinkling like distant stars. But beware, for not all whispers are kind, and not all prophecies are easily understood. The forest holds both light and shadow, you must be willing to face them both. I nodded, my resolve steeling as her words washed over me. What must I do? I asked, curiosity igniting my spirit. She gestured toward an ancient oak, gnarled and majestic, its roots entwined in the earth like the stories of generations past. Within that tree lies a seed of your potential, dormant but waiting to be awakened. Connect with it, let it tell you what it knows of your journey. With a mix of trepidation and excitement, I approached the oak, running my fingers along its rough bark. I could feel a pulse, a rhythm, like the thump of my own heart. Closing my eyes, I leaned against the trunk, seeking the silent wisdom buried within. Suddenly, visions began to cascade through my mind, glimpses of people who looked like me, their faces lined with purpose and longing. They stood at various crossroads in time, eyes reflecting both hope and despair. A woman draped in flowing robes, her hands raised toward the heavens, a man with fiery determination crafting tools for the harvest, an old sage seated in meditation beneath the same oak. Your lineage cradles the essence of dreamers and warriors, a voice echoed within me, carrying the weight of their dreams and their struggles. You are a thread that weaves through the tapestry of time, a vessel to share our stories anew. The vision shifted, revealing a time when darkness eclipsed the land, but a light glimmered, sparking courage among the people. You hold the power to rekindle that light, the voice murmured, but you must first unearth your truth. Breaking the connection, I stepped back, breathless and overwhelmed. Alara watched intently, her presence a reassuring anchor. The seed within the oak speaks to you, it asks for nurturing. You've gathered many stories, eventually forming your own, but what of your own voice? What if my voice carries timidity? What if I falter? I questioned, uncertainty creeping in. Every voice can learn to sing, she replied. Embrace your vulnerability as a strength. Venture forth and seek the guardians and guides that await you, they will illuminate your path. What dwells within you must come forth, for the hidden prophecy lies not in what you uncover, but in the unfolding of your soul's essence. I felt an unmistakable warmth envelop my heart, realizing this journey was not solely mine, but a continuation of a lineage woven with threads of courage and resilience. It was a beckoning to the vast horizon of possibility awaiting me, this sense of kinship linking the stories of the past to the present. With gratitude flooding my being, I retreated from the oak, looking toward Alara. How will I find these guides, the guardians of my journey? Follow the signs, the synchronicities, listen closely to the whispers of the forest, she urged. The truth is often hidden in what seems mundane. As she spoke, I overheard the distant call of an owl, breaking the silence of the night. Its voice carried a promise, echoing through the veil of my thoughts, a reminder that the darkness, too, held secrets. Setting my intention, I took a deep breath, suddenly aware of the deeper calling within my soul. What awaited me beyond the next bend in the path? What nodes in my heritage were yet to be spooled out? As I continued onward, the forest whispered softly around me, its wisdom intertwining with my own, compelling me to seek, to discover, to embrace the uncharted, and to unravel the hidden prophecies of my existence. As my feet treaded softly upon the earth, the forest around me began to shift, as if responding to my intent. The rustling leaves seemed to murmur secrets, guiding my senses into a heightened state of awareness. I felt no longer a solitary wanderer, rather, I was part of a grand narrative unfolding in real time. Each rustle and flutter of wings was an invitation to deepen my quest. The night grew thicker with a deeper blackness, illuminated only by the occasional silver gleam of stars peeking through the canopy above. With every step, I whispered gratitude for the guidance of Alara, resolving to uncover my own voice amidst the echoes of the past. Suddenly, a flicker of movement caught my eye. There, nestled within the underbrush, glowed a cluster of pale fireflies, their dance weaving intricate patterns in the air. Entranced, I followed them as they led me further along the path. The glow pulsed rhythmically, and I mirrored their dance, matching my breath with their gentle luminescence. With every exhale, I felt a tether to both the forest and the spirits that had come before, a connection forged with the energy of life itself. The fireflies brought me to a clearing bordered by ancient stones, their surfaces worn smooth by the passage of time. In the center stood a small stone altar, adorned with what looked like offerings, bird feathers, rings of woven grass, and wildflowers that echoed the colors of the sunset. It was a sacred space, alive with the whisper of ancestors' love and prayer, secrets that lingered just beyond the veil of perception. With an overwhelming sense of kinship, I approached the altar. Within me surged the restless questioning of my heart. Was I prepared to embrace the truth, even if it was shrouded in uncertainty? As I knelt, I placed my hands upon the altar and closed my eyes, inviting their energy to intertwine with mine. Images flooded my mind once more, the ancestral spirits rising like a tapestry woven through the stars. A woman with long dark hair, eyes fierce with determination, stood before me. "You are not alone in your quest," she declared, her voice resonating from the very heart of the earth. "Each struggle we bore has been for you. You carry the hope we once held." And then, another figure emerged, a young boy, laughter spilling from his lips like music. "Look for the laughter too," he chimed. "Joy sings where sorrow echoes. We are all part of this circle, together we rise and fall like the tides." The visions swirled, enveloping me in their embrace, yet one strand remained sharp and clear, the knowledge that I was a custodian of their stories, tasked with carrying their lessons into the light of this era. My heart rang out with a question that now reverberated in my soul: how do I honor their legacy while forging my own path? Shifting my focus back to the altar, I found a feather nestled among the offerings. Picking it up carefully, I marveled at its delicate beauty. Instinctively, I knew this was a Signan invitation to articulate the silent truths waiting to surface. "What do I do with my voice, my story?" I whispered into the night. Suddenly, I felt a gentle breeze, as if the forest itself were responding. It wrapped around me, carrying the weight of countless tales that had been woven into the fabric of this sacred land. The air hummed with a knowing energy, an invitation for me to immerse myself fully in my journey, embracing all that I was destined to become. Drawing in a breath, I lifted the feather as if it were a quill, sensing the power it held. Here rested the threads to my own uncharted narrative, waiting for my hand to guide them forth. The forest echoed my heartbeat, intertwining it with the whispers of my ancestors. I stood, sensing the pulse of life around me, yet a deeper longing lingered. What does it truly mean to be a bearer of both light and shadow? How will I reconcile the echoes of the past with the fresh mark I am destined to leave upon this world? Just as these thoughts unfolded, the call of the owl rang through the trees once more, grounding me amidst the mystery. Each note was a reminder that as I connected to my lineage and honored their stories, I was, in turn, creating space for my own voice to resonate. Yet still, the question lingered: would I have the courage to speak my truth, even amidst the shadows of doubt? With the feather pressed against my heart, I turned back to the path, listening intently as the forest beckoned me forward into the unknown. The drawing of the stars above and the rhythm of the night combined to ignite my spirit. An epic revelation was waiting, just beyond the bend, somewhere amongst the shadows and sparks of the unseen. Only then would the hidden prophecy begin to unravel, gifting me with the resonance of my soul's journey. As I ventured deeper into the heart of the forest, the rhythmic chorus of the night intensified. Each insect chirp, each rustle of leaves merged into a harmonious symphony that enveloped me in its embrace. The advancing darkness carried a mystical energy that felt both alarming and exhilarating, a breath before the plunge into the unknown. I clutched the feather tightly, its presence grounding me amidst the chaos of uncertainty. The air grew thick with an electric charge, urging me onward as though the very trees were whispering their secrets into the fabric of my being. I yearned for signs, compass points that could navigate the labyrinth of thoughts that choked my ambitions. As I journeyed, the terrain began to shift subtly beneath my feet, yielding to ever-gracious shapes and textures. Eventually, I stumbled upon a small stream trickling with clarity, its surface reflecting the curious glow of the moonlight. The water glistened like spun silver threads, weaving stories of resilience and transformation. Kneeling by its edge, I cupped my hands and let the cool water flow over my palms, pondering the river's course. What do the currents of life reveal about our own paths? I asked aloud, my voice mingling with the gurgle of the stream. In that moment, a flicker of movement caught my eye, a shadow darting beneath the surface. I watched intently as a lithe river otter surfaced, shaking droplets from its fur and presenting an expression of playful delight. It danced upon the water, seeming to embody the very essence of joy, a reminder that life flows through cycles, play and diligence, light and dark. Do not lose your laughter, the otter seemed to say, its joy contagious as it tumbled back beneath the surface in pursuit of unseen treasures. I laughed, the sound bursting from my chest as if it had long been waiting to emerge. It felt as if the universe was nudging me toward the extraordinary truth that existed alongside my struggles, that joy would always find its way to the surface if I dared to embrace it. After a moment of reflection, I pushed away from the stream and continued along the path, the feather's wisdom still heavy in my heart. I had been so entangled in understanding the weight of legacy and sorrow, but the otter's spirit illuminated a potential transcendence, one where lightness and laughter coexisted with the heavier truths of my ancestry. The trail narrowed, leading me to a grove of ancient trees that loomed tall, their trunks wide and gnarled like nature's own guardians. Hanging from the branches were ribbons and tokens, woven bits of fabric, beads, and shells, each emblematic of dreams and wishes once set free by pilgrims like me. I approached, sensing the potency of intentions that lingered here. These tokens became tangible prayers that swayed gently, calling for reckoning. I closed my eyes, allowing the narratives of those who came before me to seep into my spirit. Each wish, each story folded like origami, inviting me to reflect on my own desires. What do I hope to create in this life? I pondered, a question rich with possibilities, both daunting and beautiful. With reverence, I reached out and gently brushed my fingers over a silver bracelet hanging from a low-hanging branch. It glimmered, whispering the toils of a longing heart. Placing it in my palm, I made a silent vow to honor the promises and dreams entwined in its journey. This offering felt significant, but then, as I began to formulate a response, a soft light emerged further down the path. Curious, I was irresistibly drawn closer, my yearning making my steps lighter. As I rounded the corner, an unexpected sight crystallized before me. A stone circle illuminated by bioluminescent fungi pulsated softly with a rhythm akin to breathing. It resembled a sanctum wrapped in fog, and just outside its bounds, shadows seemed to swirl with purpose. I stepped cautiously into the circle, feeling the very fabric of the universe shimmer around me. In its center stood a figure cloaked in emerald robes, their gaze both knowing and enigmatic. "Welcome, Seeker," the being declared, their voice rolling like thunder through the clearing. "You have come to unearth the hidden prophecy, one that ties not just your story, but the collective story of your ancestors." The air exploded with energy, and I felt the echoes of haunting truths merging with the pulse of potential that surged within me. What must I face? What must I learn? I asked, my heart pounding in anticipation. The figure smiled knowingly, yet the answers loomed unspoken, mere silhouettes of meaning teasing my curiosity, inviting questions yet unformulated. To honor their dreams is to own the path of your becoming. Only through facing the shadows is your light born. And just like that, the figure began to dissolve into the night, leaving behind the taste of liberation and an insatiable hunger for understanding. My spirit shivered as the weight of their words sank into my being. As the breeze enveloped me once more, thoughts swirled around regarding what it means to traverse the shadows while crafting my own light. The unanswered questions echoed. How will I balance the legacy of my forebears with the exuberance of my own existence? What hidden truths remain waiting for me to discover, to share, to live out loud? With each reflection, the weight of my next steps lay heavy on my mind, yet the symphony of the forest called. I turned, ready to embrace the teaching, and the unknown that lay ahead compelled further into the depths of my journey. The call of the forest grew more insistent as I ventured deeper into its embrace, a vivid tapestry woven with flickering fireflies weaving patterns through the dense underbrush. The bioluminescent glow lingered in my mind, casting echoes of the cloaked figure's words against the backdrop of my thoughts. To honor their dreams is to own the path of your becoming. The shadows danced playfully on the ground as I stepped onto a narrow, overgrown trail, the thick roots of trees twisting upwards like the fingers of ancient hands reaching out for guidance. Each footfall reverberated through my being, resonating with a soft hum that seemed to emanate from the very earth itself. It felt like the forest was alive, aware of my presence, urging me to move forward, to listen more closely to the whispers that accompanied me. As I progressed, an unexpected clearing opened before me, revealing a kaleidoscope of blossoms cascading in vibrant colors against the dimly lit setting. The air was perfumed with their fragrance, an intoxicating mix of sweetness and earthiness that invited me to pause. Kneeling among the flowers, I closed my eyes, allowing the scents to wash over me like a gentle wave. A hum within the flora enveloped me, compelling me to remember that each petal, like each moment, held the promise of transformation. Every blossom tells a story, I whispered to myself, contemplating the resistance some of them must have encountered, struggling to break through the soil only to bloom in fleeting brilliance. What stories of resilience do I carry within? In answer, a sudden gust rustled the leaves above, and I opened my eyes to find a solitary butterfly delicately flitting from one flower to the next. Its wings, painted with vibrant hues of orange and black, danced gracefully through the air. Mesmerized, I followed its path until it settled on a vibrant blossom before looking directly at me, as if beckoning me to reflect deeper. Freedom often lies in flight, the butterfly seemed to whisper in its fleeting presence. I stood still, sensing the wisdom translated by the creature that had survived storms, predation, and the passage of time. I, too, had an essence waiting to emerge, just within Grapan identity evolving through trials and triumphs alike. Taking a step back, I allowed the forest to envelop me once more, my heart thrumming with curiosity as I continued down the newly discovered path. The trees shifted and thickened, forming an almost cathedral-like ambience where the light grew dimmer yet saturated with an ancient energy. Soon, I stumbled upon a weathered stone altar half encased in moss, its surface etched with symbols faded by time. Kneeling before it, I traced the grooves with my fingertips, feeling the weight of history that pulsed beneath my touch. In that moment, I felt grounded, a bridge between the past and the present. Who raised prayers upon this altar? I pondered aloud. Each symbol ignited stories waiting to be told, and my own ancestors echoed through the winds around me, whispering tales of error, resolve, and spirit. I could feel their aspirations wrapping me in layers of love and longing. As I lost myself in the mystery of the carvings, a soft glow began to emanate from beneath the altar. With breath held tight, I pushed aside the layers of moss to reveal a small chest, its hinges eerily intact despite the wear of years. Heart racing, I opened the chest to find an assortment of old, weathered letters, each sealed with a faded red wax emblem. Carefully resting the letters in my lap, I unfurled one. The script flowed with elegance, spilling forth heart-wrenching revelations and resilient aspirations entwined within each loop and flourish. "You are a continuation of our dreams," it began. "In every moment of uncertainty, seek the joy hidden in shadows, for it is where your truth lies." A tear escaped my eye as every word connected me to the silent tapestry of life that had united us, a reminder that my journey was not solitary, but an ongoing dialogue with those who came before. Their faces shimmered in my mind's eye, a lineage woven with brilliance and frailty. Just then, a low rumble resonated through the ground, an awakening beneath the soil. The forest stilled as if holding its breath, waiting for something profound to unfold. My heart raced with trepidation and expectation, a realization dawning upon me. The answers I seek are rooted in tradition, yet I must cultivate them anew. In that moment of clarity, the world seemed to swirl, casting new shadows amidst the flickering light. Emerging questions rippled through my heart. In what ways can I honor my ancestors' legacies while carving my own destiny? How do I transcend the patterns that bind and confine? With every breath, the forest cradled my reflections, encouraging me to dance with the unknown. With the letters nestled close to my heart, I prepared to rise, a tapestry of purpose guiding my steps. I knew not what awaited me beyond the clearing, but the call of the forest thrummed with secrets laid bare, promises of discovery, resilience, and the relentless quest for light amongst the shadows. Embracing the path ahead, I set forth, ready to navigate deeper into the mystery of my unfolding story. As I ventured deeper into the heart of the forest, the whispers of my ancestors echoed in every rustle of the leaves, threading through my consciousness like a familiar melody. The weight of the letters I carried felt both significant and burdensome, a testament to the stories that had shaped me yet remained locked away, waiting for the right moment to be unleashed into the world. The journey was transforming, merging of light and shadow, unveiling truths woven into my very essence. Each step resonated with the rhythm of my heart, tugging me toward an inevitable awakening. I caressed the feather gently, reminded that I was not merely a vessel of inherited legacies, but an artist poised to create on the canvas of life. Suddenly, the trees parted to unveil a breathtaking vista, vast meadow illuminated by the soft glow of twilight. The sky above transformed into a tapestry of burnt oranges, deep purples, and shimmering gold, as if the universe were orchestrating a magnificent celebration of beginnings. This was my moment, the culmination of all that had whispered to me throughout the forest, the unveiling of my hidden prophecy. I stepped into the clearing, and the air crackled with energy. A gentle breeze swirled around me, swirling petals from the wildflowers scattered about, urging me to remember a sacred invitation to witness the beauty of both creation and surrender. My heart danced with a mix of excitement and trepidation, a fragile balance between hope and fear. In that sacred space, I laid the letters down, fanning them out like colorful wings against the emerald grass. Each one a testament to those who had come before, to their pains, triumphs, and the legacies they longed for me to carry forth. I knelt, placing my hands over them, feeling their warmth seep into my being like a gust of fresh wind. "What do you wish for me to know?" I asked, my voice steadying amid the ephemeral stillness. As if responding to my call, the wind began to swirl, weaving an intricate dance around the meadow. In that cosmic spin of existence, a kaleidoscope of visions shimmered before my eyes, images of moments yet to come. I saw myself standing in circles just like this one, sharing the tales I had unearthed, igniting the flames of passion in others who felt their own dreams flickering like shadows before them. The fear that had gripped my heart began to melt away, replaced by a profound sense of purpose. Do not confine yourself to fear, a voice rang clear in the wind, soothing yet powerful. It was as though the very fabric of existence was urging me to embrace the unknown fully. Your truth is a living entity. It exists in the moments you choose to share it, in the connections you forge, in the legacy of love you impart. I inhaled deeply, soaking in this wisdom like sunlight warming my skin. Suddenly, I felt my heart surge with clarity. The hidden prophecy was not one of solitude but of collective experience, an invitation to interweave my narrative with those around me, to honor the whispers of my ancestors while sculpting the life I was meant to live. I rose, the meadow glowing as the sun dipped below the horizon, hues of gold cascading in a final farewell, illuminating my path forward. In the distance, I spotted figures gathering, spiritual wanderers drawn together by the magnetic pull of vulnerability and shared stories. With every step I took, I felt the veil lifting, unveiling the extraordinary potential woven into the fabric of ordinary moments. As I joined them, I shared the journey, the weight of inheritance, the challenge of honoring the past while bravely stepping into the future. With each word spoken, I saw reflections of understanding and kindred spirits ignited. Laughter bubbled up, tears trickled down, and as we connected through our shared struggles and victories, the space between us dissolved, merging into one luminous collective heart. Tonight, we would gather stories in a way that transcended time, carrying forth the wisdom of our forebears while crafting a narrative that spoke of hope, love, and the unyielding strength of the human spirit. Each confession became a thread, woven into an intricate tapestry, binding us to one another and to the world beyond. In that moment, a powerful insight washed over me. What if our stories hold the key to healing not just for ourselves, but for generations to come? What if by daring to voice our truths, we spark ignitions that light up the countless paths awaiting those who walk behind us? As we continued to share, the energy swelled, weaving a bond that pulsed through the very soil we stood upon. The night unfolded like a soft embrace, wrapping us all in a blanket of hope and compassion, granting each of us permission to dream anew. Finally, I understood the most significant truth of Allah, realization that thundered not just through the clearing, but reverberated through my entire being. My story is not mine alone, it is woven into the stories of those who walk with me, linking us across time, across dimensions. With this newfound awareness, I looked up at the stars twinkling above, feeling the pulse of the universe echoing through my heart, a reminder that we are all seekers, connected through the sacred fabric of existence. We are not merely shadows in the dark, we are the light bending, shifting, and emerging to illuminate the way. Thus, I stood there, amidst the gathering of souls, ready to write the next chapter, not for myself, but for a tapestry that encompassed all. We are woven into a grander story, one that transcends time and space, echoing with dreams yet to unfold. And as I raised my arms to embrace the radiant night, I whispered into the stillness, here I am, not lost, but found in every story that unfolds, ready to soar and share the light that lies within us all. For in every heart, every journey, there lies a profound truth that the greatest revelations emerge when we dare to share our light, illuminating not just our paths, but the way for countless souls yet to follow.